Hello everybody, Jake here. Welcome to the video, welcome to the channel if you're new. Very excited with all the response we've got for the first episode of the Lille save, which I've now called Lille Legends. I know, very creative there. Definitely wasn't the first alliteration that came to my mind. Definitely not. Anyway, we're here with Lille, and we mentioned in the last episode that we'll get up to the first game of the season, which you'll see today. You'll actually see some gameplay with this Lille side. We'll talk about how our pre-season's gone, as well as some major transfers that we've made. I'd say some pretty good ones. We've really improved the squad, in my opinion, with a mix of age and youth, like that the board were looking for. So I think it was a pretty successful window. So with that being said, again, I've just noticed my hair has gone all over the place. If you didn't see in episode 1, basically what's going on is in lockdown right now at the time of recording, can't get a haircut, hair keeps falling in the way of my eyes. It is very, very annoying. But yeah, here we are. If you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash the like button. You guys smash it in the first episode. If we can aim for another 30, 40 likes, whatever you guys want to hit, let's go for 30, and if you see it at 30, keep pushing it. We'll see how high we can get. That'll be amazing. Feel free to drop down in the comments down below and just talk about anything, whether it's about the save, about Football Manager, about football in general, or whatever you like. Feel free, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. It would really mean a lot if we can get close to 1,250 is the next goal, and then we'll keep pushing and see how high we can get. So do that, that would mean the world to me. And finally, I didn't mention it in the last episode, I don't think, or if I did, it was a bit later on. But I do have a Discord now, which I know a few of you guys asked for. So if you want to talk to me on a more regular basis, most of the time just about regular football or like sharing our FM saves, then feel free to come in there and check it out. The link to that will be in the description. And with that being said, I think I've done all the plugging that I need to do. We can get into this video and talk about how our Lille team is shaping up. Let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Very professional of me, I know. But yeah, here we are with Lille, and our side looks very good in my opinion. We did unfortunately lose one player that I was looking to have as a consistent mainstay part of our first team. He didn't want to stick around. He got a big offer, and we let him go. There's still time in the transfer window left, but we don't have that much money to spend, and I'm not really looking to spend any more. So I think this will be the final transfers that we do make at the club. So if I go by date now, we should be able to see my transfers will come after Jose Bicker, I think. This is all me now, upwards. So we didn't get this guy. He was already at the club. That was nothing to do with me. Could have been a director of football thing, but I don't think it was. We brought in, first of all, Antonio Valencia as backup at right back on a free transfer. A weird one, I know. We're kind of looking for youth in this save, but as a backup right back for one season, he's still at a very good level for a 35-year-old. Isn't being paid that much money at all, really. Only here for a season, and I think it's pretty good business in my opinion. Didn't know he was a free transfer until I found him. Thought I've got to pick him up straight away, and Antonio Valencia is our backup right back on that right side. We then bought in Gavi for £300,000. This is one I knew about off the top of my head, but as I did mention in the last video, unless the scouts bring the report to me, I won't buy him. Thankfully, this came up in the scouts report, and I was like, oh, does he still have that release clause? And he did. Only £300,000. He's been bought in as one for the future. Basically, he's going to sit in the youth team until he's probably like 18, 19, ready to hopefully make an impact in the first team eventually. Nothing to really worry about now, but Gavi is at the club. We then signed a new long-term centre-back in Anel Ahmedhodzic. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but he comes from Malmo, a very good centre-back, known as one of the better wonderkid defenders on Football Manager this year. I've seen him in a lot of my saves go to big clubs. Never really been able to get my hand on him that often, but here he is. He's going to be probably the most I've ever played with him will be in this save, because I've had him for like a little bit in simulations, but never properly like we have here. And we cost him only £5 million, only cost for him, and he is worth 12 million. So I think that's very good business. He's going to come in as probably a backup centre-back at the start of the season, but will eventually get in there and be a starting centre-back for us. Never really played many games for Malmo so far, but we can see he's huge, he's very tall, he likes to score from corners. It's my kind of centre-back, and for £5 million, I think that's a very good transfer. We then brought this guy in on a free, Jozo Simonovic. He's basically my 5th choice centre-back, so he probably won't ever get a game for us, but he was available on a free transfer. Looked like a decent player. I mean, he's not amazing, but he's either-footed. He can score a header maybe, he might play in the French Cup for us, basically just an option if we need to give players a rest. I usually only have 4 centre-backs, but because Jose Font is so old, I'm expecting we might run into a few problems to do with tiredness with him. So we've brought in Jose Simonovic, but one of our other centre-back options, who will probably likely be the 4th centre-back, so I usually have, I think it's going to be Jose Font and Sven Botman, with the backups being Anel Ahmedhodzic, I still can't get that pronunciation right, and William Saliba on loan from Arsenal, basically paying pretty cheap for him. I mean, we are paying his wages, but let's be honest, for a player like this, I think it's pretty good. We could even potentially maybe convince Arsenal to let him join us at the end of the season, who knows, but I think for a bit of cover, we don't have to spend too much money. We get a young player in who could potentially help the team. And yeah, I don't see any reason not to bring in William Saliba when he's available on loan. And then we brought in a left back. Now this is where we'll start talking about the transfers out too. So if I sort this by date, here we go, we can scroll down a little bit. And my head is in the way, not Saliba. But if we go down a little bit, where does it start? Here we go. We sold Jeremy Pide on the right-hand side. That's why we brought in Valencia, because we could get a bit of money for Pide and bring in Valencia, who's a better right-back, for free. That's why we made that business. But the reason we had to sign a centre-back was because we lost a player who I did mention I really wanted to keep as part of a long-time solution at left-back for us, a young 20-year-old who looked like he had really good potential. But he is left to join Tottenham. It's Braderick. For £10 million, though, not a bad turnaround for Lille. Played 18 games and basically doubled their money. And I think we got a pretty good replacement for pretty much the same money. Someone who's actually going to help the team out more at his age already. So Braderick is out. Any other sales that are really important? Basically sold a couple of the fringe players. No one really that special. And yeah, we only put in a little bit of money through sales, but then we eventually bought in this guy, Aaron Martin, to be our left back. He's a bit more further in his development than Braderick, doesn't have as much potential, but Aaron Martin looks like a really good left back for our team, the kind of left back I like, can put in some good crosses, and I think he's going to be very lethal going forward. Thiago Almada is also in for £7 million, a Football Manager wonder kid that everyone talks about this year. Mainly last year he was better, but this year he's still a good player. £7 million might have been an overpaid, but we brought him in. I think he's going to be a good player for us and a good option in that attacking midfield role. Not expecting to start him really, but he is there. And then finally, as a bit of cover on the forward lines, we've brought in Emile Smith-Rowe on loan from Arsenal. Didn't cost too much either. We did also sign someone who isn't coming in yet, but if we have a look, Matthias Orezo will be joining us. I thought straight away, but it's actually in January, so he will probably be our starting striker, or at least a backup striker when he joins eventually, but he's not here just yet. We got him for a snip at £2 million. And yeah, I think that's a pretty good squad. We've brought in some age and experience, sold off some deadwood, and then brought in some good young players. Some on loan, some permanently, and that means our team now looks like this. Don't worry, we'll get into the game in a few seconds, but it's Magnan is our first choice goalkeeper, Aaron Martin, Fon, Ahmed Hodzic might even start this game ahead of Botman, with Selic as our right back. We've then got Renato Sanchez in the midfield. Everyone's been telling me in the comments, don't sell him, so I don't think I will. I think he's one of our better players, with Boubacar, Samare, Sheka, and Andre as our options there. Going up front, we've then got Jonathan David and Burak Yilmaz. I think I'm going to be using David up front, with Bamba on the left, Ikone on the right, and Yachi in the middle. So that's the team that we've got today to play Saint Etienne. Saint Etienne are a decent side, but we're going to pick our team now. There it is. There is the side. I've decided to put Ahmed Hodzic in the defence. Now, the only problem being, basically the pre-season was really short, and I don't do friendlies. I let the assistant manager take over. And by the way, I think we won every friendly. At one point, we won a game like 19-18-0, so I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves. But the problem was he never rotated, which they usually do. I don't know why he hasn't done it. But yeah, all these players basically aren't fit off a bench, so we're pretty much limited to these players playing. I'll get the others playing under 23s matches, so they are ready for future games. But this is the team that we're going for today to face Saint Etienne. So for the first match of the series, let's get into it. We're eventually going to win the Champions League. I wonder how many of these players will be a part of the squad when we do it. Hopefully a fair few of them. But let's get into the match and hopefully get a win. Okay, realistically, I know Saint Etienne are a good team with a lot of history, but I'd like to think our Lille side here could pretty much beat them comfortably. I know we're still only, this is only our first actual game with Lille, we shouldn't judge it too early, but I think with the side we've got, we should be looking to win these kind of matches, especially at home, against teams like Saint Etienne. I haven't even done all the tactics properly yet with corner routines and everything like that. I got a bit caught up in the transfers, to be honest, and then we got to this point and I was like, okay, I should probably stop and record a video. So I'm hoping we do come out of a win today. Like I say, friendlies have been really good, we've looked really solid, but we've gone and conceded after 10 minutes. It might not be as easy as I thought it was to win the Champions League with Lille, but I promise you, we will get there. It's probably going to be a hard road, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, this season, obviously, of course, we can't win it because we're not even in the Champions League. So, main aim for this season is top 3 for me, so we get guaranteed Champions League qualification. Not the best start to it. Wabi Kazri, who I remember failed at Sunderland, was it? Or Stoke? I think Sunderland has gone and scored against us. So, that's not great news. Hopefully we'll find a way to turn it around. These players have got to build partnerships. A lot of them are new to the club, even ones that we didn't necessarily bring in are new to the club anyway because Lille signed them in real life. So it's going to take a while for him to gel, but who knows? We might end up winning this game 10-0. And there is one of the new signings. I think that might be his first goal for the club because he is pretty new. Yeah, it's a debut goal. Jonathan David, we didn't bring him in. He was brought in by the Lille board before I joined as basically the backup to Victor Osimhen, who they sold for a lot of money. And he scored a brilliant goal there, Jonathan David. Let's have a look at it. Rifled into the top right corner. Shame that his name's in the way so we can't see it, but we've sorted out conceding early on. Would have liked to clean sheet in my first game because we are competing with the likes of Lille here who are 2-0 up. Lille? Lyon. We're not competing with ourselves. Maybe we should be. Anyway, Saint Etienne are breaking forward, but teams like Lyon are going to be the ones that we are competing with. So it bothers me that they're 2-0 up already and we're 1-1 here, but I still think we could get a win here. We'll see what happens. So far it looks like a pretty even game. We've had more of a possession, but Saint Etienne have caused more chances. Actually, no, they haven't. They've just had one decent chance. It's just their XG is higher. Anyway, they're going to go through and score again here, aren't they? No, Magnan makes a good save and another good save. Magnan looks like a great goalkeeper for us. I think he'll be at the club for a good few years. Maybe we'll never even replace him. But I know, I'm judging things too early after one game. He looks good at least. Saved 2 good shots there. I thought the second shot was going to go in as well. And now Yachi breaks away. He's looked pretty threatening early on. Aaron isn't having the best game in his debut, only a 6.5 match rating. Hopefully that goes up as time goes on. We will have to sort this team out, gel them. A lot of the problems with this team is also that we were allowed to bring some players in. However, most of the transfers didn't actually come into the club until like right at the end of the friendly period. Usually they come at the start. For some reason, the deadline of when they actually joined because of the French transfer window was really late, so they haven't even had a chance to, like most of them, play a pre-season match. So quite annoying, but at least they're at the team now, and we will get them fit and firing in no time. Anyway, we've had 10 shots, more of a possession, and unfortunately, it's still 1-1 though. Here is Yachi though. He plays the ball into the box, and Admir Hodzic, one of our new players, has been brought down. That's got to be a penalty, hasn't it? The way he fell to the ground. I'd hope so. A player his size falling to the ground there. I hope it is a penalty, and we have been awarded one. Okay, who is going to take? I don't know who our penalty taker is. I'm hoping it's Jonathan David, just to get him loads of goals. It is David. He sends the keeper the wrong way. We are 2-1 up, 55 minutes in. This is what we like to see, and this man might be with us for the whole time we play this save, unless we get a really big offer for him. Jonathan David, absolute wonderkid superstar, 4 years, and here he is playing for this little team, putting us 2-1 up as PSG also go 2-0 up against Rennes there, I think that was. Rennes are a team obviously with Camavinga, so they could be a good team this season. I believe in the Champions League as well, because I think Chelsea had to play them in real life. Anyway, 75 minutes on the clock, probably a good time to make some changes. Yachi is feeling a bit worse for wear, so we're going to bring out Almada for his debut. Aaron Martinez came off for Sven Botman. And then finally, we're going to take Akoni off, who I wish I'd seen more of here, but he's coming off for Timothy Weah on the left wing. 15 minutes to go. Hopefully this will be quite a comfortable first win. Do let me know what you thought of the signings that we have made in the comments down below. I say comfortable. This hasn't really been comfortable, has it? We've only just got 2-1 in front, and it looks like they're going to have another chance here. Kazri, again, looking dangerous for Saint Etienne. He looks like a good player for him. Although, in my head, he was at Sunderland when he was already like 30 years old, so I don't know what's going on there. He probably wasn't as old as I thought he was. And he's off again here for Saint Etienne. He's got a bit of pace to him. He's played the ball out to Monet here, and he's probably going to create a chance, is he? That's a good tackle from Selic. Don't you dare say that's a penalty. Don't you dare say that's a penalty. That was such a good tackle. The ref is going to go to the VAR now. I mean, we got a penalty. I would hope that this one isn't one. Let's see what they do say. No penalty. Okay, that's what I thought, because that was a really good tackle. I'm very happy that that wasn't a penalty, because he looks like he's going to be a really good right back for us too. Never really heard of him before until we started managing Lille. And yeah, he looks really good attributes-wise, and there we go. We didn't really have a packed-out stadium, but we have won 2-1 in our first game in charge of Lille. That's what we like to see. Plenty of empty seats there. We want to get that fixed as soon as possible. As you would expect, all the teams that you think would win have won, and that's how the Ligue 1 is going to be. All the big teams seem to win most of their matches. It's not as competitive as some other leagues, but the fact that we've got off to a good start there, with some of our new signings performing well, I think it's a good sign of things to come. So do let me know what you thought of my signings in the comments down below. Is there anyone I should have signed? Is there anyone I should look to sign in the future? With that being said, I think that was a good episode. Let's see where we bring it back. I think we'll probably be sometime in October here. Lyon away seems like a good one, doesn't it? They're going to be a competitor for the top 3 spaces. Maybe even they'll be challenging for the league. So let's play Lyon away in the end of October. That gives me a bit of time to finish September and the majority of October as well, including an away trip to PSG. But I think Lyon is the one where we're most likely not going to get battered. We probably will not, I've said it. But yeah, there's the pre-season form if you wanted to see it. 18-0 win there, as I did mention, against the team who I think are probably just some amateur team. But anyway, that'll be the end of today's video, guys. If you did enjoy it, smash the like button. Thank you for watching the series. Hopefully you do stick around for more. I'm really enjoying making it, and yeah, I just can't wait to get this going properly, where we can, have players of our own and storylines of our own, much like we did with the Chelsea save, and with that man up on the wall, Danny Drinkwater. What an absolute hero. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, guys. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and comment whatever you like down below. And if you want to join the Discord, feel free. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, guys. Goodbye.